Okay guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to Blue Point TV, where we talk about football. Right guys, let's talk about the Chelsea squad. We'll talk about the Chelsea squad, we'll talk about the coach as well. Now, for me, I feel like Chelsea have so many good players, right? I feel like Chelsea have so many good players. Obviously, the players that Chelsea have are so many, right? They have so many players, and I feel like so many of them are good players. Now we know that so many of them are also young players, age 24, 23, 22, 21, you know, so many young players that they have. Obviously, they still have some players that are 27, 29, Sterling 29. The goalkeeper, I think he should be around 26 or so. The defender that they signed, Tosin, that they signed from Fulham, I think he's around 26 years old. So they still have some few numbers of experience in terms of the age. But so many of them are young, 24, 25, 23, 22, so many of them. Now, talking about the players that Chelsea have, like I said, I think they have so many good players. Not many of them are world class yet. I still think they have few that are world class. Now my point is, but the players that Chelsea have, where do you think Chelsea will finish this coming season in the league? Where do you think this group of players that they have could take them to? Adding the coach, because obviously it's the coach that will, create the team. So which position do you think they will finish? Now, I feel like these players are good enough to finish the top 3, top 4. Between 3rd position and 4th position, I feel like they are good enough. Now, I don't want to take them, I don't want to say they will win the league, I don't want to say they will finish 2nd. Now, the reason is because Manchester City and Arsenal, knowing what they did last season, knowing what they did last 2 seasons, obviously these 2 clubs have finished 1st and 2nd the past 2 years, right? They have finished 1st and 2nd, so you expect them possibly to, continue again. Now, for me, I think City are the best team in the league. I still think they are the best team in the league, even if they haven't signed any player this season. Okay, they brought one player from their sister club in Spain, Girona. So I feel like that's the only addition to the squad, Manchester City. Obviously, Julian Alvarez left the club to go to Atletico Madrid. But like I said, I think City are, for me, still the best team. They have Pep there, which I think he is still, for me, the best coach ever that I've seen. So I think City are still the best team, followed by Arsenal. Knowing what Arteta have done, with the Arsenal's team, I think they are the next one following, the best team in the league. People will say, why will I say Chelsea will finish? Could finish. I said, I feel like they are good enough to finish in that position. Either 3rd or 4th, because of the players that they have, right? Now, the players that Chelsea have, not all of them are world class, or not. People say none of them are world class. People put it like that. None of them are world class, but I think Chelsea have some players that are close, in being a world class player, like Reece James. We all know how good Reece James is as a right back. For me, he's one of the best right back if he can be fit. The only challenge with Reece James is him not being fit. He's always injured. He's even injured again. So for me, if Reece James can be fit, I think he can be even the best right back in Europe because of what he can give. He is, I feel like he's the right back that have everything as a right back. He can defend, he can attack. Technically, he's very good. He can cross the ball, he is strong, he has pace, he is very good as a right back. We know how good he is. He has everything that every top right back, every top right back has. He has them all. So for me, with James, if he can be fit, he is in that bracket of being a world-class player. If he can be fit, playing regularly, because for me, for you to be world-class, I think you should be around the best players in that position, maybe the top 3, top 4, top 5 best players in that position. If you're a defender, let's take Saliba as an example. He has played 2 seasons for Arsenal, and that 2 seasons he has performed in a world-class level. Now, many people will say Saliba is one of the best central defenders in Europe. Now, if you're ranking defenders now, you put him between 2, 3, or 4, at least he will be in the top 4, top 5 best central defenders. So for him being in those numbers, then for me, I think he's a world-class defender, even if it's young. Even if it's young. Yes, he hasn't won anything for Arsenal, but in terms of his performances, in terms of the level he's keeping for Arsenal, he's keeping the world-class level for Arsenal. So it's the same thing with Reece James. The problem for Reece James is he doesn't play. But when he plays, we know what we'll get from him. We know what we'll get from the player. So Reece James, for me, is in that bracket. Another player that I would say is Christopher Nkunku. Now, Nkunku is the same thing with James. If he can stay fit, I just hope he stays fit this season because we know how good he is. I think Christopher Nkunku is good enough to play in every single team in the Premier League. I think he's good enough to start for Manchester City. Yeah. Playing from the left. Obviously, who is starting from the left for Manchester City? Either Grealish or Jeremy Doku. I think he's better than those two players in terms of output. He's someone that can score goals, that can create chances, even more than those two players that I just mentioned. But if Nkunku can stay fit, I think he can get to that level of being a world-class player. If he can stay fit. We all knew how well he performed when he was playing for Leipzig in the Bundesliga. We knew how well he did for Leipzig there. So if Nkunku can stay fit, I think he's that player that can, get to that level of world class. Cole Palmer is another one. He performed in a world class level last season, given the numbers he gave, carrying the team on his shoulder. We saw how well he performed. The thing is, can he give close to that level again, or can he give us that same level of performances he gave for Chelsea last season? So if he can give us again and again and again, then people will start putting him. Obviously, he's still young, so I think Opama is another player. Another player that I think is Caicedo. I think Caicedo is a very, very good midfielder. We saw what he did for Brighton. Obviously, last season for Chelsea, he did not really get to that level of how he performed for Brighton. But, towards the end part of the season, we saw what we were expecting from him. So for me, Caicedo is another player that can get to that level. Now, my point is, people will say for Chelsea to finish between third or fourth, they have to have these players. The reason is Liverpool now, they haven't signed any player, but they have some top class player, world class players, Salah. They have Alisson, they have Van Dijk, they have who again that I think is in that level. They have these players. So people are saying even if they haven't signed any player this season, they think with these players that they have, the likes of Alisson, Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent, I think Trent is in that level as well. I think with these players, with other good players that they have, Liverpool will still finish, in around the top 2, top 3 next season. Now, my point with Chelsea is they can't have these quality players. Enzo Fernandez for me is a quality player. What's his name? Obviously, they just signed Neto. This is another quality player. If he can stay fit, that can get to that level of world class as well. So with all these players that Chelsea have, so many good players, Nicholas Jackson as well, I feel like he did well last season, even if I think he could have done better. He could have done more, considering the chances that the team created for him. He missed so many chances. Obviously, he scored 14 league goals last season. Let's see if he can, increase in his output, if he can increase in being clinical. Because I think if Jackson can be clinical enough, I think he would be a very, very good striker. Because I think he has everything in terms of his link-up, in terms of moving with the ball, running with the ball, his dribbling skill, and he has these things. His touches and first touch, and he has this thing, but he is not clinical enough. If he can be clinical, I think we'll have a good player there. Now, if Chelsea do not sign another striker, that's when I think he will be the one playing, starting games for Chelsea as the number 9 for Chelsea. So my point is, with this player that Chelsea have, why can't they finish, in the top 3, top 4 position? Because if you compare other clubs that should be challenging in that position, the top 3, top 4, like the likes of Manchester United, Aston Villa, Tottenham, Newcastle, right? Possibly West Ham, because of the players that they have signed. I think West Ham have signed some good numbers of players. Now, if you look at the squad of these teams, I don't think they have better players than Chelsea. This is my own opinion. I don't think they have better players than Chelsea. For me, in terms of the squad that Chelsea have, I don't think. Now, for me, the challenge for Chelsea is the coach, is Enzo Maresca. And I feel like he is the reason why so many people have been saying that Chelsea will not finish in the top 4. Still, with what Chelsea have signed, with the players that have brought in, some people, and players that we hope they will stay fit this season, that I think will help the team, like Christopher Nkunku, if Reece James can stay fit, like Wesley Fofana that is back from injury, Romeo Lavia that is back from injury. All these players are not really playing for Chelsea last season. Now, almost all of them are available. So if they can stay fit, I think these players will really help the team. Now, going back to the coach, Enzo Maresca, I feel like Maresca is the reason why most people are saying Chelsea will struggle. Not even because of the players. Yes, some people will say the players haven't really done much in the league. But at the same time, he is the reason. Many people that are saying Chelsea will not finish the top 3, top 4, that they will struggle this season. Some people are saying they will finish 7th, some people are saying they will finish 6th, some are saying they will finish 5th. But few that I've seen on YouTube saying they will finish, they feel like they have the squad to finish in the top 4. But many are saying they will not finish in the top 4. And their reasons is Enzo Maresca, because of he hasn't managed in the league before as a first team coach. He has never managed in any top league. He has never managed in any top league before. The only team he managed was in Parma, in Serie B, and it did not really go well, right? Based on the report, it's this same system he wants to play, how he wants to play position-based football, but Parma doesn't have the players to give him that kind of football, and they were losing games. And then the owners of the club, the board member feel like they don't think they will continue with him again because they are losing games, playing how he wants them to play. They are scared, so he decided to leave the club. Now another team that he has managed, which we all know, is Leicester City, which he played how he wants to play with Leicester, and then took them back to the Premier League. Right? So most people are saying they don't know what to expect from Enzo Maresca because he has never managed in this level before. He has never managed in the Premier League before. He has never managed in any top league before. So they don't know what to expect from him. And then another reason is the preseason that Chelsea played, they were poor. They were not really good in preseasons. They played about 6 games, I think. They lost 3. They drew 2 and they won 1. In 6 games they played in preseason. So the performance in preseason wasn't encouraging. So looking at the performance in preseason, people started having more reason to believe that he will struggle with Chelsea. But you never know, preseason sometimes doesn't count. You can perform very well in preseason, and then when the proper season starts, you start struggling. It happened last season with Chelsea under Mauricio Pochettino. Last season in preseason, Chelsea were very, very good. Very, very good in preseason. But then when the proper season started, they started struggling. We understand that some of the players that could have, made the team play better were injured. Chukwuemeka was injured because he started the league very well. Christopher Nkunku, that I feel like Poch wanted to really build the team around him, was also injured. But we shouldn't forget, if Christopher Nkunku was to be available, I don't think Kopama could have come. I think Kopama came to the team. They signed him because Nkunku was injured. So going back to what I was saying, Chelsea played well in preseason last season, but then the league, they struggle. They really, really struggle. 85%, 90% of their position in the league was around 10, 12, 9, 11, like that. It was just between the last 5 games that they won. That was why they finished 6th. But they really struggled last season under Pochettino. But for Enzo Maresca that haven't done well in preseason, you cannot judge him fully that he will struggle with this Chelsea team because of he has struggled in preseason. Chelsea have really struggled in preseason. They haven't really performed well. So my point is, Enzo Maresca is the reason why some people are believing that Chelsea will not finish between 4th and 3rd. But for me, I think they have the players to keep them in that position. 4th, between 3rd and 4th, I think they have the players. But it will be interesting to see if Enzo Maresca can pull this team together for them to finish in that position. Because I think, for me, he is the challenge for me here. He's the reason, because I don't know what to expect from him. I feel like signing Enzo Maresca could be very, very good because of how he likes to play football. I like coaches that knows what they want to do, that will always stick by their plan. I like coaches like that. Right? And at the same time, as a coach, it's still good for you to adapt, but always have a plan on how you want to approach the game. I have coaches like, so he looks like those kind of coaches. Right? So like I said, it could be very good for him at Chelsea, and it could be very bad because, like I said, we don't know what to expect from him. So it will be interesting to see how he will put these players together, because I think Chelsea have so many good players, whether people liked it or not. I think they have so many good players. So your thought and your opinion on this, which position do you think Chelsea will finish this coming season? For me, I think the players that they have should take them between 3rd and 4th. They have to finish in the Champions League position next season. They have to. You say must. There's no way Chelsea not finishing in Champions League position in 3 seasons in a row. For me, it doesn't make any sense. This is Chelsea Football Club. They have to finish in those positions, considering how much they have spent and also the players that they have, which I think they are good enough to finish in that position. Your thought and your opinion in all of this. And also, please, guys, if you're watching the video, subscribe to the channel Blue Point TV, and also like the video. It's really important. And you're also on Facebook. Follow the channel Blue Point TV. Share the video, guys. Share the video. It's really important. Share the video. Stay safe while I see you again. Bye.